Hi guys, Dr. Lobacz here. Wanted to go over some of the details of kind of what's going on with chiropractic care, what's going on with your body, how the body all works. And you probably remember from our first visit that it's not how you look or how you feel. Your health, a lot of times people think that your health has to do with either how you look or how you feel. And those are some of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to our health. Why? Well, the fact is that most people judge their health those ways. But the things that are actually killing us over here are not how you look and how you feel. You cannot walk through the mall and look at someone and say, oh, it looks like they might be experiencing bladder cancer. They can't see it, they can't feel it. And that's the second biggest killer in this country. Do you know what the first one is? Heart disease. You can't look and see and feel these things, right? So it's so out of balance with how our system actually believes that healthcare is and how it really is. So what we want to talk about today are the 3 T's, okay? We're going to put them here. 3 T's. The first one is trauma. Any kind of trauma that your body has ever sustained. It could have been from a bicycle accident as a kid. It could have been from falling off a trampoline or wrestling with your brother, or it could have even been birth or a watermelon through a water hose. It's very traumatic for a child. And that's why a lot of times people will bring their babies right into the office and have me adjust them even from birth. Now it's a little bit different adjustment than what you may have just gotten, but it's an adjustment nonetheless. It doesn't take much. Almost the amount of pressure, like your pinky on your eyelid. That's about the amount of pressure we use on a baby, but it kind of puts those little bones back into place and so that their bodies work better. So the first one is trauma, and that's what you're seeing out here on the table. And so I want to look at how does that work and what's that really entail? Well, let's look at it this way. 2 cells, mom and dad, came together and made 1 cell. And that 1 cell split trillions of times in order for you to make a brain. Now, the brain has this thing called the cord that runs down, this thing in the center, and then it has all these little nerves that come off like this. And at the end of all these little nerves, we have organelles. And these organelles go out and they make basically all your organs. So like this one, for instance, your stomach. And maybe over here, your heart. And all these different cells are basically different, or these different organs are basically different types of cells that do different things. So let's just say, for instance, your stomach. Your stomach has mainly one job. It's to produce acid. And anytime we have acid in the stomach, that's good. We want acid there so that when you eat your lunch, your cheeseburger, or whatever it might be, goes down your esophagus, gets broken down here, and then starts passing through the system so that your body gets nutrition. Now, what happens when there's not enough acid? Well, your body can't break it down well. Too much acid. Well, then it can start going back up into the esophagus. And the medical community will term that what? Acid reflux, right? You've heard these words, or maybe you deal with this. Well, here's the thing. If you're having acid reflux, maybe you have nerve pressure right here on the stomach, and it's causing too much acid to be being built. Or maybe, well, let me get into that in a minute. Actually, maybe we have another problem. Maybe instead of having too much pressure on here, this could happen in anywhere, right? Like the medical community is going to look at this and say, you don't eat enough Tums, Nexium, Prilosec, whatever it might be, right? They're saying that your body is deficient in these medicines. Do you think your body is deficient in medicines? I don't think so either. It's not really how it works. Now, will it cause the symptoms to go down? Sure. But I don't think you should be taking these on a regular basis. That's not good for your system. Now, this could be anywhere. What if it's happening to your heart? What if it's happening to your colon? You're going to the bathroom too much. Maybe it could be, who knows where. My job as a chiropractor is very simple though. These bones, like this skull that's on your brain, it's there for protection. These bones that go around it, these spinal cord bones, they're called vertebrae. Anytime the vertebrae is out of place and it's pinching on a nerve, that's not good. We call this a subluxation. Anytime there's a subluxation, whether it causes pain or whether it doesn't cause pain, that's not a good thing. We need to remove the subluxation and keep it removed, whether you're a month old or a day old, until the day you die. So we call this from cradle to grave. We want to make sure that your system is always functioning at the highest capacity. Now, that being said, I like to see people almost on a weekly basis. Even if they're having zero pain at all, let's keep the body functioning well. So that's number one. Let's say number two, toxins. Anytime we have toxins that we're feeding our bodies, and I'm not just talking about drinking too much or smoking or something like that, but I'm talking about things that your body might not like and may not be able to break down. So as you start eating these things and in your bloodstream, these little molecules exist and your body sees these as, like, let's say for instance it's watermelon. Your body sees this as a foreign invader and your body starts getting inflamed around or inflammation around that. Well, then what happens is a trickle effect. Your body starts seeing this as inflammation and it starts sending soldiers this way. So you start having too many, like infectious, almost like an infection in your bloodstream. Now it's not an infection, but that's how your body sees it. It really wants to fight off these things. So it's not a positive thing. So we need to know what's toxic to our body. So we need to get a food allergy test and see what's wrong with our bodies. Why are they not functioning well? And it's extremely important to have this done. When I had mine done, I found out I was allergic to all kinds of things that most people would even consider healthy. Things that people see today as the paleo diet. Like I was allergic to eggs, cheeses, kale, watermelon, things that they say are like good for you. And if you're on the paleo diet, then you should be fine eating these things, but maybe not. So it's very important to know your toxicity levels. So we need to keep those as minimum as possible. So you need to know what you're allergic to. Number three, this is thoughts. Women, you guys are terrible about this because you don't stop thinking. You're always worried about things. A lot of you have this issue anyway. Men, it's fairly simple. We break ourselves down in one of these ways, trauma or toxins. Women can be trauma toxins, but also thoughts. And most women I know that come into my practice, from the minute their husband leaves the house, they're stressed out about him. They're worried, like, did I make him mad this morning? Why didn't he take out the trash? What's he up to? What's he doing? Did he make it to work? Like, men, we don't usually think about our wives until about 10 minutes before we're supposed to be home. And then we start thinking, what's for dinner? I wonder what she made me. Now, that doesn't mean that we're like chauvinistic or something like that. That's the way we're actually made. We have, if we're functioning properly, we have testosterone, and that's what testosterone does to us. We are go, 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 go. Bring home the food, go kill and bring it home so wife can cook it, right? We still have this mentality. And that's just the way we're made. It's not that it's nothing personal. It's, men and women are different. That's just how it is. I get so sick of the politicians saying things like, oh, we're equals. Well, we're not equals. It's not that I'm like saying anything that men or women should be paid less or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is biochemically, we're different and we think differently. So that's kind of what I want you to understand, is that your thoughts can cause this like negative feedback of stress all the time and can cause your body trauma and toxins. I mean, stress comes in many ways, right? Like we have physical stress, it can cause trauma, and emotional stress, and sometimes we eat stuff we shouldn't. And so there's all these different stresses that come along and aggravate this system as a whole. So the body's not going to work like it should. And then we wonder, like a lot of times end up at a medical office and they say, well, take these drugs and you'll feel better. I have an issue with that. I have an issue with that for several reasons, but they're not getting to the root of the problem a lot of times. Now, I have no issue at all with emergency medicine, not even a little bit. You bust your head open, you got to get stitches, right? That's how it is. But when it comes to keeping you healthy, I would ask you to look through a different window. And I realize that, a lot of times, the first of the year comes around or people decide they want to get on a health kick. But a lot of times no one's ever really been taught how to take care of themselves. And that's sad. But I think that's probably why we're one of the sickest countries in the entire world. So if you'd like to get your spine checked, you'd like to sit down and have a consultation with us, I would encourage you to go to our website, check us out. You can actually book right there online. I'd be more than happy to sit down and talk to you, and we will figure out Why are you where you are today? And what do we need to do to get you better? All right, guys, look forward to talking to you. Have a great day.